Cinema 5D at IBC 2016 is brought to you by B&H, the professional source for all your video needs. Tilta, arm your camera. Hedge for Mac, the fastest way to back up media. Blackmagic Design, creating amazing solutions for film, post-production and television. And F&V, bright ideas.
Hi, this is Nino from Cinema 5D here at the Canon booth at IBC 2016. We're here with Paul.
Hello, Nino. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again too. Biggest camera news this show actually is the new Canon C700. First time in the flesh here at IBC. Can you give us a quick rundown of the main features?
This is our new flagship 4K camera. We've been building up to this since the launch of the cinema range back in 2011, and we have now arrived at this, the latest evolution. A lot of the original Cinema EOS DNA is in there, so we have the 15 stops dynamic range, log 2, log 3, a much wider range of colour gamuts, and we've also worked in cooperation with codecs to develop this dockable raw recording unit. With a firmware upgrade that will come in March, you could get up to 4.5K. You've got a Super 35mm sensor, CMOS, available in two mounts, EF or PL, and then in January we'll release a global shutter version as well. Some slight differences there in specification. For instance, you won't be able to get autofocus. This does have dual pixel autofocus on the EF version, and it also has the focus assist feature. On this it's enhanced, so you can actually have two locations where you can toggle through. So it's when it turns green, you're in focus. So if you pull focus, push focus towards subjects within the frame, then you can get that. Specification-wise, internal recording is up to 4K, 50p XFAVC. We can also do ProRes internally as well. That's another first time for a Canon camera. With the 4K recorder, we can go up to 120p in 4K, and internally we can go to 240p, but that's at 2K cropped. So we're just building the capability of the camera.
So the external 4K 120p is not crop?
It's not cropped, no.
Okay, and internal is a crop, 2 times crop?
At 240p, yes. Yeah.
What is the highest you can go uncropped?
Uncropped would be 120 in 2K internally.
Okay, 120 in 2K internally. Okay, and it's using the XFAVC codec?
Yep, XFAVC codec, or as I said earlier, the ProRes codec as well is available.
Yeah. Are all frame rates available with ProRes as well? And what flavors of ProRes are available?
In ProRes, it's nearly all the big ones, if you like. So it's the HQ ProRes, the 4444. We can go up to 25p in ProRes.
Can you say anything about the sensor? Is it the same sensor as the C300 Mark II?
It's the same basic architecture as that sensor, but with more active pixels to allow for this extra 4.5K. We've also have a range of accessories that we're releasing. This one is obviously third-party accessories from Arri, but we have this control panel here, and we have a viewfinder here as two of the main ones. If we go to the viewfinder, this is going to be compatible with C300 Mark II as well. So it is an accessory for both cameras, but we have in there such things as a false colour information for exposure control. That's a full HD. But we can also arrange it, because we have the extra pixels, we can now have the surrounding area with your information, as opposed to superimposing
additional metadata.
Yeah. Instead of superimposing it over your image.
The viewfinder, how does it connect? Is it SDI or is it?
No, it's our proprietary video connector, the same as you have on the C300 Mark II, which is how it's going to be compatible with that camera.
Okay. This panel is movable?
This panel is movable or removable, and it gives a slightly larger interface than the one on the other side, which is built in. We can take this off, and with an alternative cable we can go up to 10 meters away. This gives access to all the main shooting features on the camera. We can also have 6 user settings as well if we wish, and I can go back onto the home button, and as I said, I can just change my settings as I need to up here.
In terms of sensitivity of the sensor, is there any difference to the C300 Mark II because there's, I don't know, more processing or? Well,
there's more processing. The RAW that comes out of it is slightly different to the 300 Mark II, which is the same as C500 RAW. So there's less baked-in information, there's more extraction of information in the Canon RAW development software. Sensitivity-wise, very, very similar. We've incorporated some algorithms in there to reduce the noise in shadows. But when you record to this, you're automatically recorded in log 2, and that gives you the best leeway for effective workflow and for getting the information out of that.
So this is a completely new territory for Canon in terms of price point and features and you know who the target audience is for this camera. But who do you think will use this camera? You know, who are you hoping will use this camera?
We hope that this is going to find its way onto the top end, the big budget broadcast productions, more and more of which are being shot in a very cinematic style now, and also into cinema production as well. It's certainly got the credentials for it, and as part of a whole system now, we can have a C300 Mark II as the B camera, even the little XC15 as the C camera, so you can have the full range of camera options for general shooting purposes.
There are also two different versions available, one with EF and PL mount. Are those interchangeable?
They are interchangeable at our workshop. If you did, for instance, buy the PL mount version, if you had the EF mount put on later, you can activate then the dual pixel CMOS autofocus as well.
Okay, and there's a global shutter version, I believe?
Global shutter version should be available early 2017. Some very slight changes in specification. It'll be 14 stops of dynamic range as a maximum, and slightly lower, so it'll be 4.2K coming out of the back of that.
And it records on CFast cards, I believe?
CFast cards internally here, and then these take the standard codecs 1 or 2 terabyte drives.
What about pricing and availability, both for just the camera and also like a full shooting package if you want to get this and the viewfinder?
Everything should be available for sale from towards the end of this year. Pricing for the camera is around about €30,000. Still to be confirmed, but I'm expecting this to be around about $6,000 mark.
The codecs?
Yeah.
Okay. And what are the panel and the viewfinder going to cost?
Panel pricing is still to be absolutely decided. Viewfinder we're looking at around about €6,000.
Yeah, thanks for the introduction and thanks for watching.